Okay. All right. 36 minutes later. Um Stream is still not looking very stable. However, um yeah, I don't know what's going on with this here, but yeah. The OBS is like messed up pretty bad, I guess, right now for me. Um but I just spent the last it doesn't look like okay, it might actually be working. It says it's unstable. It looks like it's working though. Alright. We'll run with it. I'm just glad that it actually connected this time because I literally spent like the last uh 40 minutes trying to get this stream going. Um in other news though, tonight we will be doing chapter 3 of The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. Same rules are gonna apply as usual. If I'm feeling like a topic is a little too tough in this game or something like that, then I'll back out and play something else and save that for another time. Which surprisingly almost happened in chapter 2, probably about twice, but yeah, it's a sad game for sure. It's not just sad, it's really a roller coaster of emotion is what it is. So I mean there's that. Anyway, we'll continue on here. It says chapter 2 adolescence, but it's like last time after chapter 1, it's just gonna have the cutscene again for chapter 3. Yep. The end of adolescence. Last night was your final night at home. The carriage is now waiting at the gate, ready to take you to the capital. The clip-clopping of the idle hooves against the cobblestones counts the seconds before your departure. You take one more look at your parents' house and recall your childhood spent there, in the nearby yards at your school, and on the winding streets of Enizat. You clashed with the greater world around you and survived. You felt the tingle of emotion for the first time. You were taught by the school and the streets. You explored the city of your birth and learned something from its past. You witnessed firsthand events that will be remembered by history for all time. All of this is yours now, forever. You saw death, lesser death followed by rebirth, and the true death that takes and never gives back. You saw death lying in wait to strike the unaware, like a beast stalking its prey. You saw grandfather's angry grimace lit by the flickering fire of the lamp, the Archduke's cavalry trampling those who stood in their way, and your older brother's bloodied sword slicing through the air. Death has followed you from a very young age. It's a good game. I'm excited for this. And yet you live on. You have a friend who has been by your side all these years. Thomas taught you many things: how to take a hit, how to keep your word, and how to remain true to your own self. And now Thomas is walking to the same carriage as you are with a heavy bag slung over his shoulders. Your friend will remain your companion for the time being. Ahead of you is a long trip towards the capital and adulthood. For the first time, you will be away from your family and home. What awaits you in the future? Alright, cool. It looks like the bitrate for the stream is kind of evened out, so quality should be comparable to what is normally expected here. So our personal qualities from adolescence, our nobility increased quite a bit. Our ingenuity went up, I think, one point, if I recall, and spirituality, same. Willpower still maxed out, and unfortunately, we did die once. So, there's that. 16 years old now.
Leaving my hometown behind, I set out for the capital of the empire. There, I would discover my role in society.
The driver flicks the reins. The carriage slowly sways as it starts moving away from your home. You stick your head out the window and wave goodbye to your family. Nathan is running after the carriage with Thomas's younger brother in tow, tears glistening in their eyes. It hurts to leave your home behind. Ahead lies Eterna, the imperial capital. You have often read about it and heard stories from Father and Stefan. It is a city that surpasses Anazat enormously in terms of size, age, wealth, and beauty. But what is it really like? What kind of life awaits you there? What will you learn there? And where will your actions take you? You pass the old walls of Anazat. Somewhere within them is the old fortress you and Thomas built together out of the old wooden planks, now left to the care of your younger brothers. You two are adults now. Perhaps your fortress will crumble, now abandoned, and perhaps your brothers will continue what you started. Who knows? You look down at your hands, knuckles covered in scars from street antics, fingers stained with ink. Mother gave you a cross to wear away from home, and now you can feel its warmth against your chest. Your family counts on you, even though they all wish a different future for you, but they are behind you now, in Anazat. From this point on, only you will decide which road you will take. This is the journey you prepared for throughout your entire childhood. Ahead of you lie many years in the capital, years that will determine your fate and your place in society. New personal qualities. Diplomacy, which is based off of perception and nobility. My perception still sucks. How have that... I have not increased that at all. Okay. Anyway, these are the personal qualities in adulthood which you will use for the rest of your life. They are some of the qualities that you have gained in childhood and adolescence. For most skill checks, you will need a value between 10 and 16. Values 17 through 19 are required for rare and especially difficult choices. The maximum value, 20, only gives you a chance for one extraordinary deed. My value is currently 5, so this is going to go absolutely horrible. Yeah, this is not a good start. Or is it a normal start? I have no idea. I guess we're about to find out. Ugh. So manipulation is an adolescent trait. Between perception and ingenuity, everything runs on perception. Everything runs on perception, and not a single point is in the perception. Okay, valor. I'm a mediocre fighter overall. Determination is 6 and nobility is 5. It's better than the other stats though. Scheming, determination and ingenuity, and experience. Eloquence, tongue-tied. Yeah, I'm not happy with most of those values. Matter of fact, I'm actually kind of concerned with most of those values. They seem a little subpar, really. I don't know why. I was just looking at them. Anyway, let's move along here. Wait, life paths that you will choose from in this chapter. I feel like these are kind of spoilers. Path of the Lotless. You remain in the common estate, with no choice but to fend for yourself and make your own way in the world. Path of the Priest. You enroll in the seminary hoping to become a priest and assume the lot of the clergy. Path of the Nobleman. Like your father and grandfather, you enroll in the Imperial College hoping to become a judge and a nobleman of the mantle. Okay, so here are the the conditions. Path of the Lotless is an easy one to take because it doesn't require any stats. Path of the Priest, probably not going to happen because Theology and Eloquence have to be 10, or Theology or Eloquence has to be 10. Oh, hey. Thanks for the sub, Hearts of Dragons. I think I recognize that name. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what's going on with my alerts, but there is usually an alert for that. But this evening I have had issues with OBS and Twitch, actually, so I probably broke a number of things while I tried to recover some stuff. But I do see your sub, and I do appreciate that. There will be plenty more Final Fantasy streams. Plenty more, actually. I was playing it like pretty much all day today, but this game is one of those ones where I feel compelled to finish it. So I will. I might play Final Fantasy later on the stream, but we'll just see how this goes for now, tonight, or this evening, or wherever, whatever it may be, wherever. Matters not, because we're on the internet. But yes, thank you for your sub. So the Path of the Nobleman, we're halfway there with, well, we are there already, actually, because our Valor is high enough. We had barely missed it in adolescence with, if you watched chapter 2 with Grandfather's death, we barely missed it. I mean, it was unfortunate, but we would have been ennobled, I think, at that point. And okay, so it looks like for true death, you can accept true death, or you can die a total of 4 times. We've already died once in chapter 2 to save the girl, who later on doesn't seem to remember that we died in order to save her, which is kind of depressing. But yeah. All right, so here we go, chapter 3. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. Aelis's rescue. Yeah, I'm not saving anybody else. You saved the enigmatic singer known as the Golden Voice from an untimely death. Yeah, I'm not dying for anybody. All right. After that mistake from chapter 2, yeah, I learned my lesson. Secret Society is betrayed. Collapse of the Lotless. You failed to protect the Lotless. The Empire utterly destroys the Secret Society. See, the Lotless at large. Rescue the Lotless, and the Secret Society continues its activities in the capital. So we need. So it's kind of giving us a heads up on the conditions, which I guess is kind of cool, but also it doesn't really do me a whole lot because we're so far off the mark on a lot of these stat requirements. A lot less at large, like manipulation has to be greater or equal to 13, which it's not. Outwit Felipe, I don't know who that is, but it looks like there is quite a lot. Okay, that's exciting. I can't wait to get to that part. Yes. Diplomacy 5, Theology 2, and Manipulation. Valor is 11, so probably about average for where we're at in the game. Here we go. It takes a whole month to reach Eterna. You and Thomas spend the days wagging your chins and staring at the scenery as your carriage makes its way along the road and towards the next province. Soon it crosses from the familiar barren, arid lands of Magra to the stately mountains of Illyria. During one of your many stays at a roadside inn, the two of you even manage to share a whole bottle of strong wine and keep it a secret from the servant who drives the carriage. Adult life feels positively intoxicating. Soon, I tell you, soon we'll be there, and I'll earn my sword as soon as I get accepted into the military academy, you'll see. And then nobody's gonna walk over me like I'm some commoner. Yeah, I believe it, Thomas. The guy's a scrapper. Always has been. You keep rehearsing everything they taught you in school. Soon you are almost at the end of your long journey. You have left behind the arid rocks of Magra, the mountains of Illyria, and the flooded meadows of Archnia. Eterna, the capital, is right ahead. Probably turn that down just a wee bit. Situated at the junction between the Reglata and Talrina rivers, the city is vast. 3 majestic stone bridges keep its 3 shores interconnected. Smooth stone paves the main city streets. Gilded moldings decorate the buildings. Towering pillars reach high into the sky. Your phone carriage takes you past a spacious park with marble fountains and intricately trimmed bushes. Should avoid that problem for now. On the streets, you see ornately decorated carriages bearing Archnean coats of arms and abundant merchants' tents filling the streets with beckoning cries and unusual sights. The spires of ancient temples dot the city skyline. The carriage comes to a halt on a large city square with a towering marble fountain. The coachman says you have arrived. Thomas is to apply to the military academy. The academy barracks are 2 streets away. Your lodging house is in the alleyway nearby. A room has already been reserved for you. You get out onto the street and say brief goodbyes to each other. You promise to meet again after the entrance exams. Then your friend disappears into the crowded streets of the capital. You are left to your own devices in this vast city. A group of nobles walks past. They are dressed in well-fitting clothing decorated with gems and golden thread. You are not even noticed. Street urchins chase a dog down the alleyway. Soldiers of the Imperial Legion are marching to fifes and drums towards the barracks. Humble pilgrims are gathering to the great temple of the twins. There are the sounds of music and fountains, the smells of baked bread and garbage drains. Interesting. You quickly check in at the lodging house, then go back outside. The sun is setting. The streetlights come to life. Merry music fills the taverns. Couples and noble coaches with tinted windows fill the streets. Shadows and hushed voices and laughter fill the parks. You are all alone with the city, so vast and unfamiliar. You take a look around, determined to fill your first night in the capital with memories. You see young nobles gathered by the fountain, talking and making jokes excitedly. One of them keeps glancing at the clock tower. They are about your age. Their clothes are hand-tailored and 2 of them bear noble swords. They seem to be waiting for something. It might be a good idea to make their acquaintance. It would be most helpful to develop a familiarity with the influential nobles of the capital. Loud music from a large establishment on the corner distracts you for a moment. The servants have just opened the shutters to air out the hall. It seems there will be a gathering inside. People from various estates greet each other as they take their seats. The servant by the door of the establishment hails you. Sir Gert Arkwright will be making a speech about the rights of the common estate. If you wish to listen, you'd better get inside quickly. Then you look at the great temple of the twins at the far end of the street. The pillar shines in the evening dusk above it. The temple gates are open and worshippers are flocking inside. There are too many people for an ordinary service. This must be something important. What do they preach here in the capital? What do they say of the new faith and the teachings of Patriarch Photis? So Patriarch Photis is the guy who me and the sister watched get his throat slit while he was trying to give a speech. Somebody walked up and just cut his throat, and he had like the permanent death. So you snap out of your reverie when you hear loud laughter. A group of young men dressed in the colors of the Imperial College have made the acquaintance of several lovely girls. They are making their way down the road, united by merriment. One of the girls smiles at you. It is an invitation to join them. They turn the corner and walk away, but you can still hear their voices ringing and echoing through the street. A night of revelry and jolly loud fun doesn't sound half bad. This is your first night in Eterna. No matter what you choose, you will remember it for a long time to come. Interesting. Alright, so our first decision has popped up, and I wasn't even thinking about any of those things as being decisions. I don't see how running after the students is, I don't know. Visit the Great Temple of the Twins is like the least of my interests. Listen to Arkwright's speech, The Rights of the Commoners, and I did say back in chapter 1 that every time that I snuffed helping my sister, um, that I would make up for it by how I could help her when I'm finally a noble. So, I don't know, that's kind of appealing to listen to this speech on the rights of commoners, because I would like to use the stature that I gain as a noble to hopefully make significant changes to have an equal society, or a mostly equal society, if you will. But that also means infiltrating. You approach the young nobles and introduce yourself tactfully. Your father, a judge, has sent you here to study, you explain. Would they mind showing you around the capital? The nobles eye you uncertainly and whisper to each other. You prepare to face their rejection, but to your surprise, they agree. When the clock tower strikes 8, your new acquaintances proceed to a rich house not too far away. Candlelight fills the halls before you, reflected in abundant mirrors and gilded picture frames. Manservants bring drinks and refreshments to every guest. There are the sounds of music and laughter and small talk. Here and there you see couples dancing to the music. It appears you have made it to a small noble party. The nobles are gathered in groups. You take the time to get introduced to each of them and join in their small talk. Some discuss their studies at the college, while others relay fresh gossip. Have you heard that a Malinitis carriage was seen in the city the other day? Malinitis, that's the royal family, well, the noble family that hit me with their their horsemen, right? I think that's the same people. Oh no, wait. You mentioned how you once encountered Octavia Malinitis. Yeah, that's who it was. And yes, that is the same people. Daughter and heiress to the Archduke of Magra, at a square in Enazat. These words draw a small crowd. Yeah, she had a guard beat me up when I tried to return her handkerchief that she dropped. The Malinitis dynasty rarely, if ever, visits Eterna. They say it is the only house that can stand its ground against the Imperial Tempest dynasty. One young man even allows himself a little joke. They say the great Archnean houses turn to a Malinitis only when a Tempest needs to be refused. After all, only the Malinitis dynasty still knows how to say no. But there is more. It turns out all humans owe the Malinitis dynasty for their foray into nobility. Char Malinitis was the Archnean who opened the first college, and its graduates were the first to be ennobled by the mantle. I did not know that. Interesting. To feed and nourish their barren land, the Dukes of Magra took to industry and began adopting innovative industrial and social practices. The dynasty's motto is remembrance and majesty, but strife and change would suit them better. Then the nobles start discussing the other great Archnean dynasties. The Tempest dynasty is the first of the first. Naturally marked by the twins, anointed to rule. All Tempests are known for their sincerity, often bordering on a volatile temper, yet it is this very passion that has led them throughout history. The Tempests have been chosen by the gods to rule the empire. The Diamant dynasty are the main supporters of the emperor's family, honor personified. The Diamants, I guess I'll pronounce it that way, preside at the Archnean courts of honor that remain throughout the empire in spite of the public taboo. These courts hold more sway over the laws and lives of the nobility than imperial edicts or prefectural authorities. Some mention Patriarch Junius Diamant, the black sheep of his own dynasty. He preaches the new faith that rejects the lots and stirs the mind of the common folk. Interesting. The Orgriff dynasty is another noble bloodline favored by the Emperor. They zealously advocate the twins' faith and see the Empire as the union between heaven and earth. Every year, the Orgriffs donate enough funds to build new temples across the Empire. The Monroe dynasty is an ancient and controversial name. The Monrogues often speak in favor of removing humans from nobility, restoring nobility as a solely Archnean privilege, and returning all human manned offices to the Empire of the Archneans, in the Empire to the Archneans. Many gossipers accuse the Monrogues of plotting against the rule of the Tempests to bring back the old Archnean Republic and the joint rule of the great Archnean dynasties as it existed long before the emperors first came to be. So if you don't remember, the Archneans are the blue-skinned-ish people, and they are like considered the superior being. They have like the oldest noble dynasties in the Empire. I guess the Empire was actually created by the Archnean people. That's why it's called the Archnean Empire. And they kind of just subjugated humans and started to allow them to become nobles later on. But the girl who had the guard beat me up, she was an Archnean. The discussion of courtly affairs and noble dynasties soon gives way to cultured entertainment. Expensive wine flows like water. You, too, ask a couple noble ladies to dance and show your skill. You return to your lodging room in the small hours of the night, with just enough strength left to undress before your aching head and feet make you collapse. Yeah, I've been there. Been there. For the first time in your life, you have mingled with a noble crowd on your own, without your family's aid. Okay, cool. So we're racking up some stats already. Diplomacy is +1. We're still way weak on diplomacy. Manipulation is also... Okay, yeah, that was a good trade. I got 1 diplomacy, 1 manipulation for 5 willpower. And I had plenty of willpower, so I can spare that all day. That's always excellent. You arrived in Eterno, the ancient capital of the Blessed Archnean Empire. I can read a little bit. I just can't necessarily put the words. You have spent the last 3 days studying books, but today you decide to take a walk through the streets of Eterna. They are full of life as usual. You proceed to the square next to the lodging house. A procession of priests walks through the square. You notice that one of them holds a banner of the new faith, an open book. This is the same banner that was behind Patriarch Photis on the day of his assassination. The crowd immediately gathers around them. Many people are looking at an icon painting on a small pedestal depicting a gray-haired man with glowing green eyes. You recognize that face, the face of the late Patriarch Photis. A man with a thick beard appears by the icon painting. His broad shoulders bear a white and gold cloak with the coat of arms of the capital province embroidered on it. He is Luke, Patriarch of Archnia. He casts his stern gaze over the crowd. I speak to all who live within the side of the Shining Pillar. Exactly 1 year ago, we lost Photis, Patriarch of the Magra province, mentor of the new faith. Patriarch Photis was the first to see the books of Visatius for nothing but the words of a man, not the words of the twins themselves. He was the first to tell people to seek the path to the gods in their own hearts instead of blindly following the lots, to seek answer in the lives of the twins in their own hearts rather than the words of priests. Through Patriarch Photis, we were able to see the truth. Through his death, we saw that his words are not heresy. They are the truth that used to be obscured by Asatius' lies. And now I bring good news. Patriarch Junius Diamant has seen to it that our teacher will be canonized as a saint. Okay, but here's a question. I just thought of this while I was reading this. So true death, right, in this game is when a death is permanent. And as we learned from chapter 2, if you are sentenced to execution lawfully, it doesn't matter if you've died 4 times already. That death is a true death always, if it's a judicial execution. But if Patriarch Photis, how many times did he die in his lifetime? Because he got his throat slit 1 time. 1 time. And it was a true death. And that's not to say that maybe it wasn't his 4th death or whatever. But what if the gods found his interpretation of their holy book to be incorrect and thusly allowed that assassination to be a true death when they could have changed the outcome of it? Does that make sense? So maybe the guy was wrong, is basically what I'm saying. But neither here nor there, because I'm not really taking the theology path in this. Yes, Junius Diamant, an Archnean from a great dynasty and the Patriarch of Astinia, has joined the new faith himself. And through this, we hope that the entire empire will soon see that our doctrine is the truth. We are free from the shackles of the lots. We are equal before the twins. With each day, more and more people hearken to the truth, and one day the entire empire will hear our call. So let us pray, my brothers. The believers around you bow their heads in prayer and thank the twins, not for the lot they were given, as they usually would, but for the chance to choose their own path. The Patriarch's sermon is inspiring. It compels your hands to meet in a sign of prayer. It compels your lips to repeat the words of the new faith. Patriarch Luke's sermon forms a cadence, and your heart beats in time with it now. You recall the murder of Patriarch Photis a year ago. It seems more patriarchs share his doctrine now. The news of Junius Diamant joining the new faith is stunning. If an Archnean from a great dynasty has sided with Photis' doctrine and agreed to see everyone as equals under the twins, the new faith must truly be putting down roots. And also, isn't that the dynasty that they said is actually, no, that was the other one. Okay. Still trying to figure it all out in my head. But suddenly several figures appear by the podium. Oh, they're gonna murder him too. Yup. Figures clad in black with glinting silver on their sides. Inquisitors. They push through the crowd and form a circle around Patriarch Luke. One of these priests rises before the crowd. He is a clean-shaven, tall with chiseled features. I almost said fizzled cheaters. Fizzled cheaters? Everyone falls silent at the sight of him. The Inquisitor speaks with a booming voice that can be heard by all. Creepy. I am Father Ulrich. In the name of the twins and by my right as an Inquisitor, I order you to turn around and leave. The words you are hearing are full of lies. Patriarch Luke has set out to poison your hearts and minds, and the Inquisition will not allow this heresy to be spread. The only true path in life is the will of the twins. Life offers us no other choice. You are hereby ordered to disperse at once. Most people leave the square immediately. Few want to get involved with the Inquisition. Some people stay, however, and some even shout angrily. We want to listen to Luke. He is the Patriarch of Archnia, and he has more to say. Get away from our sermon, old believers. We will not listen to you and your hoary old lies about the lots. Inquisitors bring those who may yet listen back to their lots and leave the others to the champions of faith. The black-clad Inquisitors descend from the podium and approach the people who chose to stay. With nothing but their words, they make people stop shouting and start listening. Uproar ceases quickly. They have dissected the crowd, split into smaller groups that surround each Inquisitor. One of these Inquisitors chooses to approach you. Oh, goodness. Alright. He is a humble-looking man of age with a rough haircut. He looks you straight in the eye as his lively, soulful voice forces you to listen to his words despite yourself. My name is Father Jeremiah. I know your thoughts were stirred by the Patriarch's words. You are not sure whom to trust, but I teach at the seminary. I have been studying the teachings of the twins my entire life. You can trust me. Can't remember who told me, but whenever someone says you can trust them, automatically do not trust them. I know you can hear what I have to say. I see their light in your eyes, the light of the true faith. Will you listen to my counsel, my son? Okay. I don't know about that. You feel no malice in the words of Inquisitor Jeremiah, only hope. Of course I don't feel any malice because my guy's perception ability is like 0. He's got 0 perception. I don't trust his judgment on this. It is his lot to aid you, to guide you away from error and set you on the path of the true faith. He is a priest, so he should know the truth. Or perhaps the Inquisitor himself is in the wrong. Let's see. We aren't going to listen to his counsel, alright? Because I don't trust my guy's judgment, his ability to perceive that which is going on around him. I wonder if that's a reflection of my own lack of perception. How good is this game? I think it's quite good. Anyway, too deep. We can debate him or resist him. you refuse to be ordered around by him. It is not the clergy's place to give orders. I'm not a big fan of the clergy in this game because they whooped on my 3-year-old brother until he bled. Yeah. You argue against the Inquisitor and in favor of the new faith. I'm going to debate this guy. Why? 2 reasons. 1, I don't like the other options. And 2, I feel like we can gain some of our eloquence stat from debating him. Either that or I'll just be burned at the stake. You start debating the Inquisitor, mustering all your knowledge and awareness of the new faith. The lots are an error introduced by Asatius. They are incorrect, obsolete, and contrary to the way of life of the modern empire. Please hear me out, my son. In these difficult times, people of your estate are the ones most tormented by doubt. Your lot is suffering, but not all of you are ready to suffer. Some turn to guile and cunning to avoid it, and they end up in eternity's embrace at the foot of the pillar. So being at the foot of the pillar is basically like being cast below, I guess you could say. Whatever you may believe. Please understand, your lot requires humility. Suffering is inevitable, and so is doubt. Each of them may temper your soul, yet each may also destroy it. But know this, if you have doubts, you are always welcome at the temple. No priest will turn you away in a moment of weakness. This is why we exist, to fortify faith in the hearts of all people, to bring the word of the twins to those who have gone astray. Know this, the Inquisition does not imprison everyone suspect of heresy. We exist to protect souls, to guide and save them. We pursue dangerous doctrines and seek to rescue every soul we meet. I'm thinking about all of this right now. Because also, it was the Inquisitors that arrested that kid that tried to burn down the school in Chapter 2. So, I don't know. Obviously, the Inquisitors have an issue with people who use magic, but why does magic exist if the twins didn't want us to have it? Arrest or execution is our last resort, reserved only for sinners beyond redemption. You can see that I am merely speaking to you right now. I have not resorted to force, nor am I giving you any orders. Do not resist this, but rather consider the following. Did the patriarch speak the truth? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You answer that Luke's sermon was far more convincing than Father Jeremiah's words. That I think there's got to be some kind of grammatical error in there because it's throwing my mind for a loop. Everyone blindly heeds the writings of Asatius, who is but one man who decided he had the right to define the lives of generations to come. But people have the right to free will, you say. They have the right to choose their destiny and bear the burden of their choice. Father Jeremiah sighs in response. Look, this whole game, alright, let's break the fourth wall here for a second. This whole game is literally choosing destiny and bearing the burden of our choices. I mean, it would be, a little contradictory if I made any other argument at this point. It saddens me to see that you have been led astray so easily. Yet you are young. You should seek to learn the truth on your own. I know that's what I'm doing. If you truly believe you can interpret the will of the gods, perhaps you should become a priest yourself. If you come to the Divine Seminary and prove you deserve the lot of the clergy, you will be accepted. I teach there, and I am always happy to see students of considerable talent, even if they have been led astray. But for now, you should leave this place. You will learn nothing by facing the champions of faith. With this, Father Jeremiah leaves you and proceeds further. You leave the square freely, your dignity preserved. The remaining people in the square continue arguing with the other inquisitors. Armed champions of faith stand nearby, but they do not intervene. Luke and his retinue can no longer be seen. Bam! I knew it. Haha! There's that eloquence stat. That's why we debate people. We learn. You walk back to the lodging house, mulling over Father Jeremiah's words about the seminary. Your family sent you to earn a noble title, but you have an opportunity to become a priest of the old faith or the new. If you see your destiny in service to the gods, no one has the right to stand in your way. True, except that, even even in the clergy, there's division, so somebody's always going to stand in my way, really. It doesn't matter if I agree to do this or that. It's just not going to be useful. Patriarch Luke's sermons have converted many commoners and nobles of the mantle to the new faith. There are now several temples in Eterna that follow the new canons, with Luke's blessing. This has led to no small amount of anger among the followers of the old faith. Two mighty bishops of the church lead the new faith. One of them is Luke, the Patriarch of Archnia himself, spiritual mentor of the capital province. He preaches all across Archnia, his every sermon adding to the new faith flock. Oh, double clicked. The other leader of the new faith is Patriarch Junius Diamant. Hailing from a great Archnian dynasty, he is the de facto ruler of Astynia province. Adored by his subjects, he has founded the Holy Order anew. Junius Diamant rarely preaches, but people believe the Astynian Patriarch attends to the needs of all who convert to the new faith. The schism within the church is growing. The split has furthered the divide between the commoners and the nobles, though thankfully there has been no direct conflict as of yet. But it has become clear that there is no way to stop the steady advance of the new faith. Born from the death of Patriarch Photis, it grows stronger by the day. Hey, everything's falling apart around us. Discontent. Okay. I'm okay with that. A city that never sleeps. The next few weeks pass by in hard work in preparation for the coming entrance exam at the Imperial College. You grow more and more exhausted with each passing day, so much so that one night you fall asleep while studying another book. When you finally come to, you decided it's time to get some recreation outside. See, I'm studying. The city of Eterna amazes you as you stroll through its splendid streets. It is another night, a different night, yet the city is beautiful still. The shining pillar is a slice of light against the dark night sky. The lamps on the facades of the buildings are lit. Night descends on the capital. You don't feel like going back to your books tonight. Recently, you made the acquaintance of several young men. They are children of nobles of the mantle just like you, sent to the capital to earn their noble titles at the college. You decide to seek them out. Your new friends are having a late dinner on the next street over, loudly discussing their plans for the night. Some speak eagerly of a dueling club, where you can see the most skilled and ardent duelers in the Empire doing what they do best. You have never seen professional duelers fight. It must be far more exciting than Father's fencing lessons, or that fight in the ruins of Anazalt. Yeah, I don't know how exciting that fight in the ruins was. I mean, I almost got beat to death. And if luck favors you, perhaps you can even make useful contacts among the noble families in the capital. The others try to convince the rest to take a trip to a certain secret salon. The establishment is expecting a guest tonight, they say, a young lady who speak about the true state of affairs in the Empire. There are many questions about the nature of the place and identity of the mysterious speaker, but the young men have only one answer. They are forbidden to speak about this outside the club. So it's a fight club. However, they can take you there as long as you aren't afraid to learn a dangerous truth. There are others still, drinking their fill of wine rather than eating. Fencing, they say. Speeches, nonsense. The place you ought to go tonight, they claim, is the Marchian Society, a gathering for those of common estate but uncommon opinions that offers pleasures for everyone. Pleasures of the palate, pleasures of drink, pleasures of the flesh. Is this not heresy and a crime? Perhaps, and yet some of your newfound friends are eager to go there. In the end, your group splits in 3 to spend the night as they see fit. What will it be? A contest featuring the best fencers in Eterna? An establishment both mysterious and dangerous? Or an encounter with people who defy their lot with audacity? You weigh your options. You know, I think I'm going to hang out with the fencers because I think I kind of determined early on that my path to nobility was with my martial prowess, right? Like I wanted to use my combat skills to become a noble. So I feel like hanging out with the best duelers in Eterna is gonna make me an even better swordsman, and I'm probably gonna need that. We march down the street towards the dueling club, which is located in a manor house decorated rather modestly on the outside, but lavishly on the inside. One of your newfound friends nods to the servants, and they let you in. The rooms are stuffy, noisy, and filled with tobacco smoke. The sitting room is enormous. In the center is an arena, a circle with wooden railings. 2 young nobles are fighting there already. You take a glass of wine from a servant and watch the fight from one of the many soft chairs. You cannot bear a sword yet, but nobody says you cannot watch, because only nobility are allowed to sword fight. Except that my father secretly taught me how to fence since I was a kid. As soon as a dueler is wounded, the fight ends, but the way they fight still makes the audience gasp and scream in awe. When a dueler is too slow to dodge, the duel ends with a bright red line cut through his sweat-soaked white shirt. The thin fencing swords cut through the air so quickly, you only see glints of flashing steel like lightning in a storm. You do your best to remember all the feints and tricks you see tonight. They will come in handy when you earn your own sword. But then a tall young Archnean enters the room. He barges in from behind you and leaps into the arena between the 2 fencers, thus ending the duel. He bears a coat of arms of the Griffin. This Archnean hails from the great dynasty of Wargriff. The Archnean's voice booms as he challenges everyone in the audience to a duel. He sneers smugly, if you consider yourself nobles, then how about you face an Archnean lord in honorable combat? Somebody toss me a sword. I'm not a noble, but you know what? I know a thing or two about a thing or two. No one moves. No one dares to step forth. A duel with an Archnean is suicide, especially if that Archnean hails from one of the great dynasties. Such a duel will end with a lesser death at best, or with a true death through trial and execution at worst. Everyone knows the punishment for spilling blue blood, so everyone remains silent. Okay, that's fair. The Archnean grins. So humans are cowards, he says. You will never be true nobles if you are never ready to take a risk, to risk a lesser death. The Archnean honor and tradition is not for you, and war is not your domain either. For human nobles are but a mockery, a gathering of animals dressed to resemble higher beings. A man leaps onto the arena. He is tall as a tree. His pockmarked face is white with rage and covered in scars. There are whispers of reverence in the audience. This is Marth Ferasti, the owner of the club. He has accepted the challenge for the honor of all human nobles. He has yearned to fight an Archnean all his life, and now is his chance. The duelers salute each other, and Sir Ferasti begins the attack. A lunge, a jab, another, and then another. The young Archnean deflects each attack like he knows his opponent's every move. Sir Ferasti's eyes twitch with tension. The owner of the club lunges again, but the Archnean deflects his sword and rips the weapon out of the human's hands. Marth Ferasti looks at the Archnean in confusion, then bows his head in recognition of his defeat. The Orgriff youth flashes a proud, superior grin. His fencing sword lifts the sleeve of his defeated opponent. It bears 3 black marks of lesser death. Oh no. The guy's already died 3 times. Now the young Archnean eyes Sir Ferasti with a mockery of sadness and compassion. Why, it appears the poor, overeager ex-commoner is on his last life. Ferasti shudders. He asks the Orgriff youth to be so kind as to spare his life. Nobleman to a nobleman. The Archnean's face grows dark and grim. His sword stabs deep into Ferasti's chest. Then the Orgriff youth speaks, loud enough for everyone to hear. He is the only noble in this hall, he says, and everyone who saw this must forget the dueling club ever existed and leave this place never to return. So this guy just got a true death. He begged for mercy and he didn't receive it. The nobles scowl, dress reluctantly and leave with quiet resentment. No one dares to defy the Archnean openly. The noble gathering disperses outside. You return to your lodging house, lost in thought. Archneans stand far above humans. They do not care if you are a commoner or a high-ranking noble. In their eyes, you are only a human. It seems there is nothing that can readily oppose Archnean power. They are the masters of this world, and humans are pale reflections of them at best. Ooh, excuse me. Cat's got a delicious looking rat in its mouth there. The trip to the dueling club ended on a grim note, but you learned a lot from watching Eterna's best duelers in action. You recall their lunges and blocks before you sleep, rather than the master of the dueling club being murdered in cold blood. So, Valor +1, we're still a mediocre fighter. But we're almost there. Oh no, wait. Yeah, no, we are. Our next boost to Valor is gonna make us a seasoned warrior. Year 1135, spring, the Code of Laws. You're on your way to the largest library in Eterna to study for your entry exams. It is right next to the college. The streets are full of people, everybody is excited. You hesitate for a few seconds and let your curiosity get the better of you and head towards the place where you will soon study. Before long, you hear the shouting. The great chancellor is about to give a speech about the future of the empire. You cannot simply miss this, or possibly miss this. You mix with the crowd and soon find a convenient place to listen and watch what is about to unfold. On the steps of the college, you see a small tribune guarded by 2 Archnians armed with swords. This is the first time you have ever seen an Archnian standing guard, let alone 2 of them. Apparently, Archnians are pretty good fighters. The doors of the college open to reveal a stately Archnian surrounded by an honor guard. It is he, Cornelius Tempest, great chancellor of the empire, younger brother to the emperor himself. He heads for the tribune and casts a look over the square. It is full of people in awe and utter silence. Long ago, humans witnessed the Archnians' arrival. The 2 nations built the empire side by side. The provinces joined us one by one, and Magra was the final province to attain the absolute might and majesty of the blessed Archnian Empire. Yeah, there was another great event long before that. 1,000 years ago, the twins had graced us with their presence. With their arrival, the twins granted us their will. They showed us their love and their law, and they granted us knowledge of what awaits us in the hereafter. They chose the dynasty of Tempest to rule the empire, and from that day forth our dynasty has ruled this land, ordained by the gods themselves. However, it is our duty to the twins not to seek power for power's sake, but rather to lead the empire to further prosperity. And so the Great Imperial Council is soon to review and adopt a new set of laws called the Creed. Under the Creed, all estates will be granted rights. Under the Creed, there will be one law for all Imperial citizens to obey, human or Archnian, from the lowliest commoner to the Emperor himself. The strife among the estates will end. A single law will resolve all of our quarrels. Glory to the Empire. So is he saying that they're gonna make a singular law that binds all lots together and essentially does away in a legal aspect with the lots? The great chancellor throws his arms into the air. The crowd murmurs and applauds in approval. Cornelius Tempest casts another look over the crowd and leaves. The crowd disperses. The sounds of agitated discussion are everywhere. Is it true that the Emperor's dynasty seeks to grant equal rights to all estates? What will happen to the Empire then? Yeah, how can we be a strong empire if everybody's equal, you know? Power +2, current balance of power in Magra, and who rules the province? Yep. It's all shifting wildly. The girl from your past. It is early morning. You have been awake since sunrise studying. There is a knock at the door. Is it a letter from home or a hotel servant? You open the door and freeze, stunned. Hello, Brante. I can't remember who Sophia is. Oh, wait, is Sophia the girl that ran away from the Archnian guy? Before you stands Sophia, the girl who used to live next door. She is all grown up now. She looks so different, but you would always recognize those blue eyes no matter what. You gesture for her to come in. Sophia enters the room, glances around, and sits in an armchair. You eye the girl you used to know as you sit across from her. But the young woman you see now has little in common with the girl you used to know. There is cold steel in the way she looks at things. Her hair is cut short. What is she doing here? I can explain. I've been living in Eterna for a long time now, ever since I ran from Menazot. I heard the other day that you'd left for the capital to get into college, so I found you, and here I am. You ask how Sophia learned about your arrival and where you are staying, but she answers your questions with an enigmatic smile. We'll get to that later. Right now, I want to see how much you've changed since last we saw each other. As for me, I've changed a lot. I am a whole different person now. You look away as you recall your previous encounter back when Sophia ran away from her Archnean master. Sophia chuckles as she continues. So, she knows some pretty strong magic, so I'm kind of scared right now, because she might just disintegrate me or something, I don't know. And also, she's an outlaw. Would you like to know what happened next? I traveled through the entire empire all alone. I had nothing. My journey ended only when I reached this place, the capital, with all its important people and events. This is the heart of the empire. It's a place where I can make a difference. I've made friends here, found people I can truly call my family. I've even gotten an education of sorts, and I have a purpose now. I fight against injustice. I fight against the lots. I fight those who treat our lives like mud on the pavement. And no, I'm not afraid to tell you that. I came to you for a good reason. I need help. I know you. I have faith in your good heart. And besides, this is also about the Imperial College you want to enroll in. There's a scholar there by the name of Bartholomew Dextra. He teaches natural sciences at the college. Dextra is an old man, but he's quite progressive. He'll stop at nothing to advance science and acquire new knowledge. As you know, only second-generation nobles or above are allowed to teach at the college, but Dextra, he is a commoner. He forged his patent of nobility to get a position at the college, but the secret chancellery recently learned of this. Dextra is about to face true death for this forgery. I don't see how that's my problem. I mean, it sucks, I guess, but they're gonna blow my chances at becoming nobility because I'm trying to defeat this system from the inside out. But how is that justice? A man wants to teach people, and for this, they're going to take all of his lives? They're going to punish him for the crime of being born in the wrong estate? It's evil and obscene, and I will not stand for it. Dextra deserves to be rescued. But I don't want to put anyone in danger, so I need your help. You're from a rich family. You're almost a noble. If you help me get Dextra out of the city, nobody will suspect anything. No one will know, and the scholar will live on to continue his research elsewhere, far away from the secret chancellery. Will you help me? Alright, well. Oh no. Okay. You feel perplexed by Sophia's sudden request. She is asking you to break imperial law and undermine the work of the secret chancellery to save this scholar. Rescuing Dextra would be an adventure, but it would also be incredibly dangerous. And besides, Dextra is a fake noble. He resorted to lies and deceit to get his current position. How much does this matter to you? Sophia's blue eyes are studying you, waiting for you to reply. So I'm trying to think long ball here. If I get this guy out somehow, because I know Sophia is strong, right? We kind of already saw how she escaped the Archnean guy in the house when I just hid and I didn't help her escape. Then, so she kind of knows her way around things, but also, how much can I trust her to not ditch me or throw me under the bus if something happens during this whole ordeal? And B, if I get caught for something like this, I'm going to also face a true death, and that's it. That's a wrap. You know, there's no coming back from that. So I'm kind of really suspicious of this whole proposition, if you will. There's no way you are going to rescue some false noble. He is getting his just desserts. Conditions not met. Relations with Sophia merciless. What are my relations with her? Okay, so she's currently embittered because I didn't help her. After what you did, Sophia realized that the world is cruel and does not deserve to be spared. See, I'm pretty sure Sophia, she's a trap. You know, like, I don't want to help her. I don't. Because I feel like she's embittered because I didn't help her escape that house, but also I've died one time so far, right? And I died as a child. And I died to save her because she almost got ran over by those horses and trampled and felt all that pain. But I saved her and I died because I got trampled instead. But did she remember that? She did not. I know she's a powerful magician, but I don't know. I feel like she's just using me. It's a tough one. I feel like she's using me because I feel like this game is kind of capable of anything. I.e., like if I refuse her, right? She might just kill me. You know, she might kill me, and that's a death that I was trying to avoid by not helping her. But also, a judicial death would be a permanent one, whereas her blowing me up, or whatever she might do with magic. How do I get back to sea? That would be a soft death or whatever. But also at the same time, I agree with her ideologies. And it did say that I could suffer a true death in this chapter, so I have to be really careful here. I can't put anything beyond this decision. Okay. Alright. Yeah. See, the thing is, I can't do this because I didn't even turn her over to the guy. You know, like, I could have turned her over, but I just hid. I had nothing to do with it. Well, YOLO. I hope I don't regret this, but something tells me I might. You promised to help Sophia. Bartholomew Dexter does not deserve this. He has to leave the capital. She can count on you. I knew I could count on you. Then we must act at once. There's no time to waste. Dexter is to be arrested tomorrow. Here's his address. Go there as soon as the sun sets. No one will suspect you. Dexter often tutors young men for the college entrance exams. Tell him the owl sent you. Weird. Use the back door to get out. A carriage will drive up to the backyard. The driver will hoot like an owl. He'll take you to the south gate. If the guards stop the carriage, just talk your way out of it. Once you're outside the city, Dexter will ride away in a different carriage. You'll go back the way you came. I'll meet you in Majesty Square. So I feel like that's going to be a skill check with the talking to the guards. But my guy doesn't have, you know, he's not good with words like that. Or is he? I don't know. You nod to her words and your hands start to shake. You're about to go against the secret chancellery. You are going to help someone escape punishment. To defy your own lot like this, it's unthinkable. When the sun sets, you leave the lodging house and walk quickly, glancing over your shoulder repeatedly. Bartholomew Dexter's house must be somewhere around here. You find the place. A genteel old man opens the door. His face is covered in wrinkles, his shoulders are stooped, and yet his eyes are sharp and lively. Bartholomew Dexter looks at you for a moment, then asks why you have paid him a visit. You tell him you want to enroll in the college and are looking for a tutor. Dexter nods and invites you inside. Once you make sure nobody else can see or hear you, you whisper to the scholar about the real reason for your visit. The secret chancellery is coming for him tomorrow, and he has to leave now to escape true death. Wasn't I supposed to tell him that the owl sent me? Dexter freezes, then turns to you. How do you know about him and the secret chancellery? You tell him the owl sent you and has provided for his escape. As for the secret chancellery, they want him for forging a patent of nobility. The moment you utter Sophia's name, the lecturer calms down and starts packing for the journey. You watch him distractedly, and notice that he lives in a rather austere fashion. It does not take him long to pack. They hear the quiet clacking of hooves in the yard. Carefully, you and Dexter proceed to the backyard of the building. You see a carriage there. The driver hoots quietly. You get in. The carriage rolls down the road. There is tense silence in the closed-off space inside the carriage. The scholar wrings his hands anxiously. Through the carriage windows, you see the massive city gate passing by. You're almost outside the city, but then a loud voice reaches you. Halt! The driver obediently halts the carriage. 2 city gendarmes approach you. You leave the carriage to face the gendarmes before they can get a peek inside the carriage. They look you over and ask where you are going so late at night. You tell them you are the son of a judge in Magra, here to enroll in the college, and right now you wish to visit the estate of a newfound friend. To convince them further, you mention the name of a noble's son you have become friendly with. The gendarmes release the carriage and wish you a pleasant trip. And then your carriage explodes. I'm just kidding. You drive along the high road until you encounter a peasant wagon. Dexter will take it to seek refuge far away from the capital. Before the two of you part ways, he pats you on the shoulder and tells you that you have done a truly brave deed. You return to the city without incident. You find Sophia in Majesty Square as agreed, sitting on a bench by a streetlight, reading a book of some sort. She closes the book when she sees you and offers you her hand. So did everything go according to plan? You nod. Then we've earned ourselves a bit of free time. Let's go. You set off on a walk through the maze of narrow back streets. Finally, you have some time for questions. What happened to Sophia over the last 2 years? She was just a girl before, a servant. How is she now a revolutionary? Sophia just smiles sadly. You've seen what I can do. I'm not just a girl. The Inquisition caught up with me when I ran away from Anazot. I ended up in the House of Humility, a dreadful place. I got collared. So, a silver collar prevents the use of magic. We learned that in chapter 2 as well, I believe. Yeah, it was chapter 2. I mean, it had to be. But yes, a silver collar, the Inquisition uses them to control people who know magic. Do you know how it feels to lose your free will? Losing everything that makes you, you? She unclasps the tall shirt collar that had been hiding her neck all this time, and you see the round mark from the anti-magic collar. They say a scar like this will remain even after a lesser death, but I got lucky. Patriarch Junius Diamant saved me. Diamant took me and the other mages from the House of Humility and removed our collars. He made me one of his attendants. He taught me that there are no lots. He told me that I'm like this not because I'm a freak, but because it's my nature. He told me I can find a path to the twins like anyone else in the world. And then I was taken. I mean, I got out on my own. I found my own lot to protect the common people from the noble yoke. And then I was taken. You can't trust this woman. Anyway, to protect common people from the noble yoke, to help others who are as lucky as I am, or who are as unlucky as I am. See, she's lying. She's not telling me the truth about the nature of what happened after that whole incident. To fight for a different world, a world where everybody has equal rights, a world where mages don't get robbed of their will just because of one aspect of their birth, a world where the nobles no longer tread upon the commoners. Yes, this is our dream, but we are still so far away from it. But I will keep moving towards it, and I'll stop at nothing. A strange, distorted expression appears on Sophia's face, but she quickly returns to normal. You keep walking until you are at your lodging house again. For a moment, you just stand there, looking at each other. Then suddenly, Sophia embraces you. For a moment, she remains still in your arms and whispers, "You should join my cause. If we work together, one day we'll become a force to be reckoned with. I know you came here to find your way, but I'll never believe you really want to bind yourself to other people's laws and desires for the rest of your life. The path I walk is dangerous. It's almost hopeless, but it's worth living for. Think about it. Goodbye." Okay, so now she's just indifferent still. Then she withdraws just as quickly and disappears in the dark streets of Eterna. You make your way back to your room, exhausted by the events of the day. Was this really just a single day in your life? I was gonna say, I feel like I should have got a few stats from that. Valor, cool. Now we're a seasoned warrior. Scheming has gone up to inexperienced.
I will never forget that day. For it was then that I chose the path I would walk for the rest of my life.
There are only a few days left until the Imperial College entrance exam. History, law, theology. You spend all day reading and rereading the books you brought with you, staying at the library of Eterna for hours, sometimes until it closes. As the day of the exam approaches, your hands start shaking more and more, and finally, the day comes. A clear sky hangs over Eterna today. The breeze is warm. You dress in your best outfit, a gray jacket and velvet culotte trousers. I don't know how to say the word. Trousers, I'm just kidding. You comb your hair carefully and polish your boots until they shine. You leave the lodging house and head for the Imperial College. Your legs grow heavier with each step. Your anxiety at the fact your fate will be decided today is virtually tearing you apart. The college is a majestic building that looks not unlike a castle. In the square in front of it, you can already see several dozen people. Young men, sons of nobles of the mantle like you, waiting for the college's door to open. Time slows to a crawl. At last, the doors open. A stately man dressed in a professor's mantle appears at the entrance. He is the dean of the college. The students to be fall silent at the dean as the dean gets ready to deliver his welcoming speech. But the silence is interrupted by heavy footsteps and clanking armor. Oh, I'm going to jail. A squadron of warriors emerge near the college, led by Arcanian officers. Their banner bears an image of gold and grains. The noble militia of Monia province? What are they doing here? The nobles of Monia form a circle around the college, each warrior moving quietly and precisely until a chain is formed. One of the Arcanians is clad in an old-fashioned suit of armor. He is the leader of the militia. He locks the bar on the massive doors of the college into place, then proceeds to the stairs to address the crowd loudly. Commoners! Before you stands Agarius of the Monrogue dynasty, Archduke of Monia. By my will, the college is hereby closed, and today's entrance exam is cancelled. That's excellent. Your lowly origins make you unfit for the great honor of rendering service to the Empire. Alright? That ought to be available only to the hereditary nobles of the sword. The college's reputation has been tarnished. It breeds mock nobles who bear not a trace of noble blood. You belong in the lowly estate, but have forgotten your place. Cornelius Tempest and other traitors to the Empire are indulging you and defacing the institution of the nobility for their lowly interests. A noble lot for those of lowly birth? How can this be? I will not stand for this disintegration of the Imperial Order. Now turn away from the college in this instant and return to the humble trades of your ancestors. Plow your fields, mend your boots, and work and suffer by your lot. If any of you dares to set foot upon these stairs, you will be killed at once. The students to be meet this speech with a stunned silence. The crowd in the square is growing. However, the news of the Monian noble militia and the college's closing spreads through the streets like wildfire. More humans join the crowd. College students, commoners, officials who worked hard to be ennobled. Unrest grows around you. You hear people calling to rush Archdukes Monroe's forces to take control of the college and defend your right to become noble. The Emperor himself gave us this right. We have to fight for it. This is a decisive moment for all of you. The old gentry has challenged you. Will you accept this challenge? In the face of this shameful illegal act by the Archduke's forces, you may prove that all of you deserve the noble lot. You will need to break through the cordon, get inside the college, and take control of it. The nobles will never dare hurt you if your presence is strong enough. If you are ready to risk it all and fight for your right to the nobility, you will have to lead the charge. Right, and here I was worried about some old man sneaking away from the college. I have to die for this. I have to die for this. From day one, we were determined to become ennobled, and I figured we were gonna have to do it by some kind of combat. Not this kind of combat necessarily, but people keep coming to the square in the meantime, including students and teachers from the Divine Seminary. The lot of the clergy is to guide others to the right path. When the estates clash, the priests are bound to intervene. The seminary teachers instruct their students to form a line between the noble militia and the outraged crowd. The priests begin telling the warrior nobles and the riotous commoners to return to the preordained divine order, lest they provoke the wrath of the gods. The wrath of the gods. As the priest utters these words, the crowd around you disappears. The vision appears before your eyes. The empire is ablaze. You see burning lands steeped with pain and despair everywhere you look, rivers overflowing to extinguish the burning world. You can tell that soil scorched by such fire will never bear fruit again. God's given wisdom demands to be heard, demands to be prophesied to the world. But only a priest may speak to the twins and for the twins. Will you keep it inside, or will you step onto the path of the twins? Will you step onto the path the twins have revealed to you? Somebody shoves you in the back, and you snap out of the vision. You turn around to see a small but decisive troop of commoners moving quickly through the crowd. They are led by Sophia. As soon as she sees you, she signals to them to stop. Yeah, this is our molehill. So you're here too, going to rush the college, are you? Can't you see it already? The laws cannot be trusted. They give you the right to study here just to throw you a bone. When the going gets tough, your masters will take it all away. It's time for you to decide. We are the Lotless, and we are not putting up with this system any longer. We will fight for a new world. Are you coming with us, or are you going to submit to them? There are students and professors locked inside the college. Who knows how long Monroe will maintain this siege, and what if they start slaughtering people? Neither group of nobles will care what happens to them. We're going to go inside and pull them out. Come with us if you're ready to take control of your own destiny. The tension in the square is palpable, and the situation is about to implode. Students, commoners, nobles of the mantle, followers of the new faith, all of them are gathering their forces to move on the wall of soldiers. They expect the nobles to let them through en masse. Surely they won't start a massacre. Yeah, right. The Lotless, led by Sophia, prepare to break through the siege to rescue the people in the college, and all the while the priests preach peace to both sides of the conflict. College is your only way into the nobility. Only you can fight for your new lot, fulfill your duty to your family. You could organize an offensive strong enough to get into the college and thus seize your lawful right like a true nobleman. Yet the revelation about the wrath of the gods still pulses in your mind. Once revealed, this vision will take you on a different path, standing with the priests and preaching what you have just seen, warning all of the dire danger on the path of warring estates, bringing the twins word to the people and guiding them to salvation. Could this be your new lot? Sophia and the Lotless, they expect you to join their struggle. They are waiting for you to cast off the old ways and eternal yoke of subservience. If you choose this path, you will not change your lot, and your suffering will continue. But your suffering might just change this world. This is the moment. Future life will be decided here and now. Okay, so I'm definitely not gonna follow the lot list. So there's that. um, my valor is more than high enough to break through the cordon into the college. This is how I'm gonna obtain my nobility. I had no interest in being a member of the clergy. So this is it. Hopefully this works out. You get to work, recalling the books on military tactics you used to study as a boy. You call out to the students and children of nobles around you and assume command. They hear you, and they listen. You stand together in close formation and march towards the weakest link in the line of nobles. More people joining you along the way, a veritable phalanx of young men, armed with nothing but determination against the noblemen's swords. The noble militia readies their steel. The Arcanian officer in command of his section halts you and orders you to turn back. You step forward and give him your reply. These people are here to study at the college as the Emperor himself has decreed. You have every right to fulfill the imperial law, and any nobles who dare to intervene will be defying Uther Tempest II himself. The plan works. The officer hesitates when confronted with the words of your leader. The noble militia is no longer ready to use their swords. This is your chance. You command your forces to focus their advantage in numbers for a singular push, and the militia line breaks. You reach the college gates. More people start running for the breach. The nobles get their bearings quickly enough to restore the line, but your phalanx is already inside. You waste no time. You begin barricading the gate. The students who were stuck inside the college run toward you. You quickly tell them your plan. Block all the doors and windows with whatever comes to hand before Monroe's forces can get in. If they do get in, only the twins know what they will do. One by one, all the entrances are swiftly barricaded. The riot outside the college has calmed for a moment, it seems. Through an open window, you hear Monroe giving orders to his militia. The Archduke is forming a strong perimeter outside the college, ready for a proper siege. Students and professors of the college go to the balcony to negotiate. You are among them. Surrender and leave this building. I am not here to kill or execute you. No loyal subjects will die by my hand. Yeah, right. Humans boo and jeer at Monroe's proposals. I'm such a human. Weird. The dean himself appears on the balcony. The imperial family established the college, he claims, and cannot defy orders given by the great Arcanian Tempest dynasty. And so the college remains besieged. The noble militia stands in a circle around the building, but there are no preparations for an assault. The outrage in the square continues. You remain in control of the college for the entire day and the following night, but at sunrise, the Emperor's herald arrives in the square. He brings news. The Emperor is delighted to see Archduke Monroe in the capital, yet he demands that the noble militia of Monia vacate the square and allow classes to begin at the college. The besieged college celebrates the news. This is the work of Cornelius Tempest, Great Chancellor, the Emperor's brother. He managed to convince the Emperor to order Monroe to withdraw. Even the Archduke of Monia, the most powerful noble lord in all the Empire, cannot disobey a direct order from the Emperor. Still, the college would never have held out for an entire day without your phalanx's determination and your daring plan. You, the people of the common estate, have secured your right to study and earn the noble lot. The college is open again, and the entrance exam will take place in a few days. You aren't nervous at all this time. All the lessons at home, the books, the schooling, your own noble actions, all that work and effort has finally reached its culmination. The procedure for appointing a provincial overseer, the 5 great Arcanian dynasties, the property rights of all estates, you answer all these questions with ease. Hours pass and the dean of the college reads the names of the new students to the young men gathered at the college steps. Your name is among the first. He praises what you did in defense of the college. People like you are the Empire's future, Sir Brante, he says. Sunlight fills the college square. It feels so soft and soothing here in Eterna, not as harsh as it gets in Anazot. You watch the pillars shine in the sky as you walk down the steps of the college. You are Brante, the 3rd judge in the family, the man who will soon join the family's noble blood tide. You have seized your right to achieve the nobleman's lot. You should write to your father now. He will be so proud of you. Alright. Excellent. Like your father and grandfather, you enroll in the Imperial College, hoping to become a judge and a nobleman of the mantle. Alright, so we're not going to be relegated to... So far. Anyway. Bonds of friendship. You return to the lodging house one last time to gather your belongings for the move to your new home. A young man dressed in the uniform of the military academy greets you by the door. It takes you a moment to recognize Thomas. Your friend locks you in an embrace. Brante, hey, how are you? I heard about the nasty stuff that went down in the college square. Those damn gentry would do anything to keep lowborn folk under their thumb. Glad the situation resolved itself. As for me, I'm an academy cadet now. He is beaming with pride. You invite him in and chat while you pack. Thomas continues to relay the news as you walk up the stairs. I made it into the top 10, can you imagine? Did pretty well inspiring in sciences. It was all thanks to the help you gave me back in school in Anazat. I'll be studying the art of war now, and then it's a quick march to a noble title. How about you? You tell Thomas about what happened over the past few days, and of the path you have chosen. He remains quiet as you speak. Both of you realize that you may never see each other again. You know, Brante, here's what I think. You may have your own path in life, but you're my friend. We gotta make sure our friendship lasts forever, no matter what happens to us. We got some rings. Here, I brought 2 brass rings. If the old tradition is to be believed, both the rings and their wearers will always remain close to each other, no matter where fate takes them. What do you say? The 2 of you grew up side by side. Thomas, the audacious, hot-blooded, sharp-tongued boy who used to live next door. You can't imagine your childhood without him. But would it be right to promise him that your friendship will last forever, no matter what happens? 2 rings made of plain brass lie in his open palm. If you wear these rings, you'll be bound by ties of friendship for the rest of your life. Okay. This is kind of confusing. You take the ring, the 2 of you have been friends for a long time. It seems unthinkable that your friendship could ever end. You take the ring that will bind your fate to Thomas's and swear an oath of eternal friendship. You are sure you will do your best to keep the friendship alive, but you cannot promise it will last forever. This is a tough one because what I'm foreseeing happening right now is that there's going to be a revolution and Thomas is probably going to be one of the top commanders of my enemy, if I had to guess. So this is a tough one because if I keep things as they are, I'll promise to do my best to maintain our friendship, but to swear an oath of friendship is a little excessive, I feel. To swear an oath of friendship, that's fine. Maybe it's fine. You take one of the rings from his outstretched palm. The 2 of you have walked side by side ever since you were children. Even now, you are walking in the same direction toward a noble title, you as a judge and Thomas as a warrior. Nothing will ever tarnish your bond. You swear an oath of eternal friendship to Thomas. Thomas solemnly swears the same. You put the brass ring on your pinky, a perfect fit. Thomas follows suit. He starts beaming again. Now we're friends forever, for all eternity. We gotta celebrate this. Come. I know a place I gotta show you. Tastiest mead I've ever tried, Brante. My treat. 2 of you go to a noble salon by the square of Emperor Severin. Surrounded by tobacco smoke and mead bottles, you wag your tongues, recall the days of your adolescence, and make plans for the future. Nobody knows what could be waiting for you, but you promise you will never lose sight of each other. Bound by friendship. Your friendship is strong enough to stand the test of time. You and Thomas form an unbreakable bond of friendship. Yay! We'll see how that pans out. As soon as you're accepted into the Imperial College, you send a letter back home. The family replies quickly. Their letter arrives in under a week. Most of it is covered with your father's handwriting. I'm proud of you, my son, and I believe your grandfather takes pride in you too. You have brought our family one step closer to being ennobled by the sword. You will make an excellent judge. I have complete faith in your intellect and your will. You shall bring glory to our family. Stefan's congratulations follow your father's. Unexpected. Okay. Congratulations, brother. The simple folk could only dream of what you have already achieved. You can thank father and grandfather for this opportunity, but it was you who proved yourself worthy. Once you receive your new lot, you and I will be equals at last. Then some words of praise from Mother and Nathan. You have brought your father much joy and made him proud, and I'm witness to this. You now walk this path, all thanks to him. Yet it saddens me that you did not consider the Divine Seminary, where you could have dedicated your life to our gods, as well as the Empire itself. Well, you see, Mother. I wouldn't have been a good clergyman. Nathan, you worked so hard for this. We held a big feast in your honor back home. I hope you achieved all you ever wanted. And at the very end, there's a small note from your sister. Gloria, congratulations. Good luck. Dang it, Gloria. Only you knew how much I cared. So I've earned my father's affection? Okay. Oh, Gloria, really? -1, see what I'm saying? Like, ugh. So frustrating with this young lady. Every beautiful girl deserves to go to a ball. It is only a few days since you became a student at the college. Your education has barely begun when an amazing piece of news surprises all the students. Every year, Cornelius Tempest, the great chancellor and the emperor's younger brother, grants an honor to all future nobles of the mantle and invites them to a masquerade at his summer palace. The professors and lecturers instruct you to look and act your best in order to preserve the college's honor. They tell you more about the ball, too. All who attend it from the college must prove themselves with word or deed to the members of the great Archnean dynasties that will be present there. This means the reputation of your home province will be at stake too. It's time to get ready. You order a proper suit for the occasion and a mask to go with it. It looks simple, but by no means plain, and only hides your eyes. The day comes, you spend an entire morning preparing for the ball. Your fellow students give you hints about how to attach the cuffs, keep the collar straight, and make sure your hair remains coiffed for the entire night. Soon the carriages start flocking to Cornelius Tempest's summer palace. The tall, ornate outer fence surrounds a sprawling garden in full bloom. The marble-paved driveway is so wide it can accommodate 2 rows of carriages. You and your fellow students walk up the massive stairs to the front door of the palace. You seem tiny and incongruous against something I clicked too fast, I'm sorry. The master of ceremonies instructs all newcomers to seek their province's coats of arms. You see the banner of Magra from far away, depicting the silver tree digging its roots into the murky gray soil. Below it is a banner bearing the coat of arms of the Melanitis dynasty. It turns out students from the college were not the only ones invited to this party. You see Academy cadets lined up beneath the banners too, and Thomas is among them. Oh yeah, this is about to get crazy. A wide grin appears on his face when he sees you go under the banner of Magra. Yeah, he's thinking the same thing. I just knew you'd be here today, pal. What can I say? Congratulations, student. As for me, I'm not so bad off myself, see? The military academy is father and mother to me now. His merry speech is interrupted by a tall, proud Archnean in a heavy cloak. You recognize him. He's Dorius Oton, Sophia's former master. He didn't see me that night. He did not, because she blinded us. Make way for your commander, soldiery. Oh. Here's where the divide starts happening, huh? The last time you saw Oton, he was searching the back streets of Anazot by your house for a girl servant, but now the young Archnean's uniform betrays his high standing. He is young, yet he is already the province's commander. Who put him in charge of all the military forces of Magra at such an age? What's wrong? You know him or something? A brief description of Oton is enough to wipe the smile off his face. You see no other high-ranking officials bearing the colors of Magra at this party. It seems Dorius Oton will be the main representative of your province tonight. You watch the other college students and academy cadets line up under the provincial banners. The blue and silver banner of Archnia, the Emperor's own province, is in the very center of the hall. Judging by the hilts jutting out from beneath their belts, many of those who surround that banner are nobles of the sword. Thomas is clearly jealous. The group from Archnia stands proudly, ennobled by its iconic and dignified history. The Archnian race and the Empire originated in their very lands. A sizable group of students stand under the banner of Monia, a wealthy agricultural province signified by yellow grains on a field of ore. The wealth of the young men beneath this banner is plain to see. Their attire is on par with the Archnians in terms of luxury, and perhaps even more vibrant in terms of color. The most numerous group at the party stands under the banner of Illyria, a yellow griffin against the field of azure. All the Illyrians are clothed in well-tailored suits with a minimum of decoration. Some of them wear gloves. Most of them come from wealthy industrial families, and it seems many of them would feel more at ease in their family factories than at a noble party like this one. 3 banners represent the northern provinces of Fiona, Hermia, and Constanta. These banners, like the groups associated with them, stand together. The Royal Tempest dynasty oversees all 3 of them. The students and cadets are clearly well off, yet they are dressed in modest, functional garments to honor the austere traditions of the North. And finally, the smallest of the groups is represented by an open book against the field of Argent. Astinia, homeland of the Diamant dynasty. By the order of Patriarch Junius Diamant, the open book of the new faith has been added to the banner only recently. Nearly all the young men beneath this banner are clothed in academy uniforms. They wear no adornments but are clad impeccably, with nary a button undone, the embodiment of rigor and restraint. Okay, so it seems like maybe the Diamant dynasty is got a pretty strong military service or tradition of. The master of ceremonies signals the beginning of the party. It is time for dancing. The first dance is a minuet, and tradition calls for everyone to dance. Harpsichord fills the hall. The academy cadets waste no time finding dance partners, and soon, already making the fluid first steps of the minuet. You take a look around. One of the young ladies representing Margaret catches your eye. She is slender, like all Archnians, and clothed in a yellow dress, embroidered with emerald green, her face hidden behind a full mask decorated with bright green feathers. Well, let's see. An Archnian? Representing Margaret? A female Archnian? Something tells me it's, what's-her-face? The girl who got me beat up. What happens next seems unbelievable. The enigmatic lady walks towards you. The way she looks at you. The way she walks. The black eyes from behind the mask watch you closely. She tilts her head. There are no words, but you feel there is a question. Yes? Yes, I'm the guy who tried to hand you your handkerchief, and you got me beat up, okay? Thomas was there for that too. Everyone in the hall is startled by a sudden noise. You look behind you and see Thomas getting up off the floor, his face a grimace of rage. Dorius Oton stands before him, eyeing him with disgust. His arm rests on the hilt of his sword. Who allowed this clumsy commoner inside the Great Chancellor's palace? Its noble masters are trying to dance and it's getting underfoot. Okay, so that sucks. My best friend just got trampled by freaking the representative of our province, Dorius Oton. Thomas looks like he is about to explode in Oton's face, but the smug Archnian's sword is a clear threat. If your friend's rage gets the better of him, he will end up in trouble. The enigmatic Archnian beauty, however, quickly loses all interest in their quarrel. She comes even closer to you, expecting you to invite her to dance. I really need to work on my diplomacy. Diplomacy would have gotten me out of so much trouble already. Draw your Otan's ire upon yourself. You help Thomas to his feet and hurl some well-chosen words of mockery in Otan's face. That is a bad idea, but also... You know, I really should have considered this before I took this oath of friendship with Thomas, because Thomas has a tendency to try to drag me into some stuff. But I know this. I know who the mysterious Archnean lady is. It's a tough one. It's a tough one again. Man, this game is taxing. It's fun. I enjoy it. I really do, but this is difficult because I have an oath of friendship that I have to back up now. But then also, the mysterious lady has definitely got to be that girl. But also, she seems interested in me. So if I can, you know, get like a direct line to an Archnean family, and I would literally have to insult Otan. Because my diplomacy is not good enough. Here goes an oath. You stand between Thomas and Otan before they can clash. The Archnean eyes you with scorn. You help your friend to his feet, then stand against Otan and look him straight in the eye. A moment later, you follow your stare with a mocking question. Is something amiss? Is the Archnean master so unsure of his nobility that he must assert it before every commoner he sees? Or perhaps he considers such to be his law. The dance is interrupted. There are ladies whispering in the hall and eyes watching you. Some judge you, while others grin at the Archnean. What will the High Commander do now? Slowly, Otan looks around, confused for a moment. Then he gets a hold of himself and flashes you a grisly grin. No, human. I will not grace you with the suffering that is your due. You did well to invoke the lots. Now consider your own. Remember this day, the day when Sir Dorius Otan showed you mercy. Having said this, the Archnean walks away to the banner of Magra. Thomas wastes no time dragging you to the opposite end of the hall. By the twins, he looked savage. Seems your words hit home. The Archnean pig couldn't even think of a proper rejoinder. You're a real friend. Thanks. Yeah, Thomas, I'm glad I didn't get killed, okay? That's about all I got. You smile at his praise, then gladly, firmly shake your friend's hand. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch the mysterious masked Archnean lady, all beauty and grace, dancing with Otan. You could have been in his place had you so chosen. Oh, I know it. I know it. Dorius Otan, -1. Distaste. Willpower, down. Okay. Cool. We're no longer tongue-tied. We have clear speech. Excellent. That's alright. You have lived another year in the capital. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the Trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. Okay, well, you know what? We're almost at 2 hours of stream here with this game. And so far we've cleared a whole chapter like every time I stream this, but I'm pretty sure the chapter is getting a lot longer. So I think this is a good stopping point for this game. Now, the year 1136, the winter of, and the trial of the 50. We've made some pretty solid choices, I think, by sheer chance, really, because they all seemed really bad initially. And that situation at the ball could have had an Arknian wife, I guess, possibly, or an Arknian love interest. But you know, she's above my class, so it probably wouldn't have worked out anyway in the long run. Whereas my friend is going to become a top-notch military commander and command massive armies for me as I lead the revolution. I'm just speculating. I'm probably daydreaming a little bit too, but yeah. So, you know, as they say, bros before hoes. I'm just kidding. Sophia's just gonna end up probably disintegrating Otan anyway, if I had to guess. Which means that if he does marry that Arknian girl, I can't remember her name. If he does marry her, you know, once he's out of the picture, I'll just, you know, by then I should have a good way with words. But yeah, so that is part of chapter 3 for the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Such an excellent game. I'm glad I stumbled across this game. I have thoroughly enjoyed it so far. We're in chapter 3. I like to think the Trial of the 50 is like halfway through or something like that. Yeah, we're gonna stop this stream here. What I think I'm gonna do now is I am going to let's see here. Let's gauge our train of thoughts. I am probably going to just switch this over to Final Fantasy. I think is what I'm gonna do. That should be all right. Got more time to play, but this game is making my head hurt a little bit. I ain't got but 2 brain cells, and man, are they rubbing against each other really hard right now. It's a good game, but you know, it's something I want to savor a little bit. So if you want to quit to the main menu, your game will be saved automatically. That'll be fun. Yeah, we're gonna switch to some Final Fantasy here. Update my stream information. Ooh, how do I do that? Because I kind of broke my. Well, I didn't break my OBS. My OBS is currently broken, and I was in such a rush to get to streaming that I didn't take the time out to sit there and mess with it again. Let's see here. Oops. Here I am breaking everything again. Okay. Well, that's all right. I know it's on a black screen. That's on purpose because I actually have to log into my Square Enix stuff, and I don't want anybody hacking me, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, how do we get our docs back? Yep. Probably gonna hear that sound a bit while I click wildly. And get ready for loud Dawn Trail music here in a second. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. once I get fully logged in here. Server is currently congested, so we're waiting in a queue. But once I get that pulled up, I will fix the scene here. Some stream info, we'll do it this way. Stream info is updated. Already heard her. Excellent. We're back. Ooh-wee. Still got quite a few things to do. I haven't gotten to really any of my duty finder stuff for the day. Yeah, I haven't done any of it. So there's always that. Let's just go ahead and do main scenario first. Also make sure I have enough room for the tombstones, which I believe I do. But nevertheless, I'm kind of torn between spending more of them on like the stuff on the Crypt Lurkers stuff from the Shadowbringer stuff, or if I should wait until I get to 90 and do the Endwalker gear for Viper, because I'm already at 84. And we're not just gonna stand here waiting for that to pop. We are gonna do... Okay, that's weird. Am I lagging? I'm double clicking. Yeah, it's not, There you go. That was weird. Okay, I am lagging. I guess this game doesn't really like being streamed since they updated the graphics, is what it seems like. Which is weird, because I feel like I've streamed way more intense games smoothly than, you know, like Hell Let Loose or Squad or stuff like that. I don't really seem to run into any issues, but streaming Final Fantasy just doesn't really like it. Okay, so what are we doing here? Timers. Let's see what kind of projects they got going on as far as company projects go. Rose Gold Varnish. That's for... You know, I actually bought some varnish earlier. I didn't make it, but I do have extra varnish. It needs 18 of it, but it's all normal quality. I'm not sure if that's going to mess it up, because I know they're probably aiming for a high quality airship part. There's a lot of people in this square here. I need to make a chivalric long coat of aiming for this leather worker. What did I type wrong? Chivalric long coat. Aiming. It is. I'm gonna have to buy all of this stuff because I don't have any of it. Let's see, I need amphitheater skin. Sorry, fiddling around with some side screens here, and I think I just broke my game. Vengeful amphitheater. Yeah, let's go to Azaslaw for it. We're gonna go harvest some of our own skins here. Despite my lagginess, I'm sure I'll be a Dragoon soon. Wild. Yeah, Azaslaw. See the delay on that? That's gotta be showing on my stream. That's wild. The delay on everything. Why am I lagging so bad? Let's see. I was wondering if it would let me fly away before it actually shows my mount. Okay, so we are going to be looking for Mericidian Amphitheater, and I think I remember vaguely where they're at, so we're just going to run with that. Then went to truth in the last pillar of the fall. I think those are trials that I haven't done yet, even though they're like from Heaven's Ward, which is kind of wild, but I'll get around to it when I get around to it, you know what I mean? Those are probably the extreme ones. So, 15, 6, 32, 8. 15. So, they're like right here somewhere. 632. So yeah, like right over there. I need your skins. They down there? No. Gotta be up here. There's City and Dragon Amphitheater. Okay. I guess I'll just do the fate then. Yeah, I'll just do the fate, because I'm sure I'll get the skins for it, so. I'll just level sync to it. Nice, 3 skins right off the rip. Make my job easy, baby. We're still queued up for the main scenario, Beauty Finder. Is that it? Lag. And then on top of that. Extra dragon caught up in here. We got hopefully it drops a dragon skin. I'm doing a ton of leather work. Okay, jeez. Here, I need to figure out a way to like help out my bandwidth here because this thing's on the struggle bus. This is like the perfect fate for exactly what I need. Because it's just going to keep spawning the amphitheaters right here until the end of the fate. And it's not like particularly difficult, it's just like kill all the amphitheaters. Perfect farming fate. messing up my combos because I'm lagging. That was actually just me that time. That wasn't this quick. Finish the fight. Because I have to switch back to Viper too. That's weird. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and switch back to the Viper here. I'm in combat? With whom? Oh no, I'm gonna miss my cue. I got it. Okay, is it gone? Can I switch now? I'm able to change classes or jobs at this time. Oh, I missed it at the last second. Okay. This lag. Something else. Let's just, we'll just re-queue for that. It's rough. You know, I always liked the As Is Law music. Really fun. Catchy. Let's see here. I need more amphitheaters, but I don't want to wait for. I don't want to wait for a fate. It should be somewhere around here without it. 15,632,8 in other locations. This is what it says on my guide here. Robiniacs? They don't drop skins I need, I'm pretty sure. Same with Hydras. What is that? Quiver? Dragonettes, do those drop dragon skin? Pretty sure Brabiniacs don't drop anything that I need. Let's see what the Dragonettes though. Okay. No dragon skins on them. Lag our way out of here. That's a Brabiniac. All variations of various dragons, but none of the ones I need. Even though we did get a few skins, that might be enough for the one jacket. Check it out. Right about here. Until that Q pops, I'm stuck as a leather worker. Okay, interior leather. is required for one journey. I didn't pay attention to that fact. Let's see. 85 might be good enough, right? What's that? Come on. 3. Okay, and I've got 3 high quality ones already. Let's see. Subtract the Viper. That's that. Excellent. Don't forget to pop XP items, they say. They can't make me. Okay. Wait. I didn't like. This is like one of the few fights that I actually remember the mechanics to because I've done it so many times. However, I'm hoping that the lag doesn't kill me. You see this? See, this right here is the kind of stuff that gets me killed. This uncontrollable lag. I'm probably already dead and I just don't even know it. There you go. I'm alive. And now I'm dead, probably. Yeah, I'm dead. Lag, man. Am I dead? Alright. Well, you know, we're just gonna have to probably end the stream here for now until... I mean, I gotta fix OBS anyway and all that other fun stuff. But I won't be able to do what I need to do. All this lag, unless it sorts itself out, which I don't think. It doesn't seem like it's sorting itself out. I'm not even doing any damage. I'm just sitting here hitting the same button over and over again. Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end the stream here. The game just is not having it right now. I DC'd entirely. Yeah. I'm just gonna end the stream here. I'll see if maybe there's a way to optimize this for better work in the future. But thank you for joining me on my stream again this evening, and I hope to see you guys next time. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you for the sub, Hearts of Dragons. I appreciate that. That is, I'm very grateful for that. That's awesome. But yes, I'll catch you guys next time.